Alright, here we are in the home stretch. This is the final chapter for Amplify's Metabolism Unit. It's been a long road learning about Elisa, about her diabetes condition, about cellular respiration, how cells make energy, but we're ready to come to the conclusion. For the rest of the week, we're going to work on 4.1, 4.2, and we're going to read a short article from 3.4 to contextualize, that means put into reference, what we're doing in 4.1 and 4.2, before moving on to our test and leaving this unit behind for your first job, your internship within metabolism. So let's go ahead and dive right in and start with the warm-up. So for this warm-up, you're going to go ahead and watch a video and write what you think about it as you watch it for the practice of blood doping. In this case, I'm not going to play it for the class because you actually have access to it, and I want you to be more comfortable using your headphones in class to listen to materials. Once we move to the metabolism internship, which again functions just like a job, you're basically going to be on your own. I'll leave you some guidance videos, some quick tutorials on how to use things, and do a couple of demonstrations in class, but for the most part, you're just going to have to figure it out for yourself. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and practice that by watching this video. To find it, you just click on the lesson brief, move over to the side, and in digital resources you'll see right here, video, the bike race. This is the video you're looking for, and it's the video you'll use. Once you've watched that video, go ahead and make sure you answer the question below. What do you remember about how blood doping works and how it can affect cellular respiration? The video will give you some context so you can put your ideas into writing here, but go ahead and write your own ideas below in 2 to 3 sentences before moving on. Once you do, you're going to move on to this teacher-led discussion part. I'll briefly go over these claims with you to explain what's going on, and I'll do that now before we move on to step 3, which you'll find in the next video. So, this elite athlete, Jordan Jones, who you'll find out more about from the video, finished 35th in a bike race last year, but finished first this year in a similar race. The question people ask is, how did he improve so much? The bike race includes hundreds of competitors, and moving from 35th to 1st is no small feat. So, in order to make that big leap in just a year is remarkable. So remarkable, people suspect him of the crime of cheating through blood doping. So we're going to include some claims about how he might have done that. The question in play here, and if you remember from writing like a scientist, we have a question, a claim, some evidence, and then some reasoning. So let's start with the question. How did he increase his cellular respiration and improve his performance? Remember, they're asking this in terms of metabolism. What it's really saying is, how did he increase the efficiency of his energy, because that's how he rode faster as he got more energy, to improve his performance, do better in the race. Here are the claims. Claim 1. Jordan Jones increased his cellular respiration and improved his performance. Let me read that one more time more clearly. Jordan Jones increased his cellular respiration and improved his performance by blood doping. In other words, he cheated. He used blood doping to improve his performance by having more red blood cells than the other competitors. Claim 2. He increased his cellular respiration and improved his performance by changing his pre-race meal. So by changing up the type of food he eats, it affects his metabolism. And when he goes into the race with the energy ready to go, it allows him to form more energy to race better. Claim 3. Jordan Jones increased his cellular respiration and improved his performance by training at a higher altitude. So the last part is a little peculiar if you haven't read the article from 3.5 and from 3.4. You should have understood the part about higher altitude, but I'll put it into reference for you here. When you train at a higher altitude, there's less oxygen, believe it or not, the higher up you go. That's why mountain climbers have to use oxygen tanks when they climb too high up, because the air's so thin, they can't breathe very easily. Athletes can train at higher altitudes in order to train their heart to pump better and to train their blood cells to get more oxygen. Because when the air is thinner, in order to perform at the same rate, they need to practice pulling that stuff out of the air better in order to keep the body moving. So, we're going to investigate these 3 claims and what each one means for Jordan Jones and how you can look into it with evidence. To do that, we're going to start with this reading so that we better understand how high altitude training and blood doping are connected before we move on. Go ahead and go to the next video now so you can see what that is.